Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in English literature poetry, The Clone's Wife by Johnson Agard is a very important poem to be remembered because it's very easy to write as appreciation or analysis. So I will talk about the poet as well as the appreciation will be well easy for you to write in exams in the way that I'm teaching you. So The Clone's Wife by Johnson Agard. About my husband, the clone, what could I say? On stage, he's a different person. There, he's a king on throne, but home you should hear him mourn. The moment he walks through that door without that red nose and them funny clothes, he seems to have the world on his shoulder. I do my best to cheer him up, poor soul. I jangle with eggs, I turn cartwheels, I tell jokes, I do my latest cart trick. I even have a barrow of his red nose, but he doesn't say exactly how he feels, doesn't say what's bothering him inside. Just sit there saying almost to himself, "Oh, life, our life, what could I do without this clone of a wife?" About the poet. Johnson Agard is a British playwright, poet, short story writer, a children's writer who won the awards in poetry in 1997 and has traveled extensively throughout the world performing his poetry. Through the poem Clone's Wife, Agard deals with the difference between appearance and the reality and the suffering of the poor. So let's talk about the themes of this poem. The Clone's Wife. The themes of appearance versus reality, the difference between appearance and reality, duality of clones, personal and professional life, and also the duality is the main theme in The Clone's Wife by Johnson Agard. This duality relates to the clone's wife uh, or clone's personal and professional life. So he acts one way at work and another way at home. The duality is signed early in the poem, and therefore we invite her to view duality as important to the poem. So when we are talking about the incident also like that. So first of all, I will tell you the duality means in when we are taking the theme duality, that duality portrayed as the personal versus the professional lives, the difference between this. And when we are talking about the incidents, the incident in this poem brings a realistic description about a personal life, how we appear in public and how he deals with the reality of life. And the poet conveys this message by taking the character of the clone. Usually a clone is a popular person on the stage. He does funny things to make the audience laugh. He dominates the stage, but at home he believes as if he has a great burden on his shoulder. So his wife always does her best to make him happy, to cheer him up. She performs what she performs on the stage, what he performs on the stage to make him laugh, but no comment or response for him. He does not say what his problem are to the wife. So we can see the lack of communication also as a theme in this one. And also as when we are talking about the poetic techniques, the irregular versification is here. And also the whole poem consists of 6 stanzas. The first stanza and the last stanza consist of only 2 lines. The second and third and fifth stanzas have the 3 lines, and fourth has 4 lines. Likewise, lines are there by telling clone is quite difficult to understand because he spent 2 different lives on the stage and at home. So it also shows the confusion of the wife to this react of the clone. So and also when we are talking about uh, The Clone's Wife is an interesting poem written by Johnson Agard, which brings out the contrast or the gap between the public and the private lives of the people through the eyes of wife of the clones who job is to entertain the public, and he usually appears on the stage with a funny look, wearing funny clothes and a lot of makeup. This appearance of the character makes everyone laugh and enjoy. In this poem, the narrator is the clone's wife. We come to know about personal life at home through the narrator, or that clone's wife told us about that. So she hints out the dual role played by the clone on one side stage and the other at home. So when we're talking about the quotation, on stage he is a different person. Up there he is a king on throne, but at home you should hear him moan. These lines clearly juxtaposes him private and public lives. Once on the stage, the clown is a king. In other words, he has all the stages to himself and all the eyes are on him. And he entertains the public with his superb skills, and his comic actions or comedic actions keep the audience with him, and he dominates the stage. So in these words or in the sentence, you can understand about these quotations and the appreciations as well. So however, he becomes an entirely different person at home, where he begins to mourn. One might suppose that he mourn because he becomes very tired after his performance. The very next stanza suggests that he bears a great burden on his shoulders. So let's talk about the other quotation. The moment he walks through the door without that red nose and them funny clothes, he seems to have the world on his shoulder. The clown begins to feel a great burden on his shoulders once he leaves the stage, and the moment he enters his house, he becomes his true self. And when he works walks through the door, he seems to be greatly worried, and at home he begins to feel the weight of the problem. So I do my best to cheer him up, poor soul. I jungle with eggs, I turn cartwheels. These quotations were such as, although his wife does her best to cheer up him, and also his spirit with all the creaks of trade, and he remains miserable, and the wife behaves in a childish manner. This shows that the behavior of these two persons is paradoxical or opposite, if not the lack of communication that both persons have. So, and also that I do my best to cheer him up means that is grammatically it's wrong now, because of the knowledge of this clone's wife. That knowledge is depicted to us from those words, I do my best. Okay, so that is a grammatical mistake uttered by the clone's wife. So keep it in the mind and write the appreciation beautifully. And let's talk about the another quotation. I tell jokes. I do my latest card creep. I even have a barrow of his red nose. Although the wife plays the role of the clone at the home to cheer him up, he shows no response. So we can see here how the clone's wife is showing a love and kindness for cheer the clones up. So we can see, and but he doesn't say exactly how he feels. So he does not say anything about what he feels. He sit and humorous to himself. Oh life, our life, what would I do without these clones of a wife? So the wife who understands his real situation sympathizes with him. The man who became king on the throne becomes he act on stage, and he is being admired by everyone, and becomes the cynosure, and but At home, his wife becomes the performer and he becomes the spectator. So the truth is, he is burdened with responsibilities. The wife, in a very childish manner, tries to make him happy, but that becomes a useless attempt in front of the clone. So he is extremely serious and mourns, but not knowing how to make end meet. So doesn't say what bothering him. He knows that it is useless telling him his wife what is bothering him. He is not actually like to share this problem with his wife. So as the theme of this poem, the duality, the poet deals with the difference between appearance and the reality, and most people are complained to wear another face in front of the society, and their truth face is hidden when they face the uh, public. So this is the truth nature of the human in the modern society as well. So you can't judge people by their looks. They may be entirely different in the life. So this is the very important message that he is giving in the given by Johnson Agard in this poem, throughout this poem. So the poet has chosen the clown's wife as the best person to talk about it. So this work is an excellent example to talk about the duality of life. So from these words you can actually last the appreciation as well. So if you uh, need some questions regarding this from the clown's wife poem, please comment down. And also, when we are talking about the themes, I told about the duality, and also king on throne is a metaphor, and the rhetorical questions are asked here that creates a grammatic effects and hesitations, and confusion is there. Inversion, change of words order, shows a hesitation or confusion here, and he seems to have the bird on his shoulder. Likewise, those are simile. We can use simile because they are used like, and also paradox is used. Have the word on his shoulder depicts paradox, and red nose, funny clothes, visual imagery, and like those things are there. So these questions are usually asked in for the short questions now. And also jungle with egg turn cartwheels, also visual imageries, and grammatic errors are there, shows the educational level of the wife is showing by these grammatical words. I do me best in appreciation also, I have told about it in the analysis. I have discussed it with you. First all, irony also used in this poem. And also we can see that clone's wife may be complaining that the clone does not tell the reason for his worries, and that tells about the relationship between the husband and the wife. The clone does not like to give his burden to wife, also another point that you need to catch in this video, and keeps his spin suffocated. And so yeah, those are the things I need to discuss with you, and they have to cover up emotions and show a different face to the society. But when they force the reality of life, they have to face it, and nobody can hide from the reality in a way. Most of us are clones covering of the real selves. In our only happiness depends on the relationships around. So some messages are going to tell to the audience by this poem. We need to write about those things and keep in the mind. So the clone's wife is going to describe about her husband, but she does not know where to start. That also a thing. And the use of day-to-day language and rhetorical questions and genuine value to the poem is given there. And the paradox also, when we are talking about the plot in the poem, flows in a contradictory way, and the behavior of the clone on the stage and later at the home is quite paradoxical. So yeah, those are the things. And the start is like she is answering to a question of a journalist, so her hesitation or confusion creates a dramatic effort there, and showing that she is not going to tell happy news about him. Also another thing that you can collect from these words. So students, I think that you get a good idea about this clone's wife. And also if you need some poems, short stories, or whatever the things, please comment down. And also if you need some questions regarding these clone's wife, do not forget to give a comment. And also do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and give us a support if you need another video or another lesson. So let's comment down. Also let me know whether you need the A-level literature lessons or not.